Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. In the last episode, we're pretty much just managing things at this point, letting stuff get built, particularly the rail, making sure the rail constructors are running, because they tend to get stuck until we can get the actual rails built correctly, get all of the signaling set up the way it's supposed to be. The rail constructors are just going to get stuck a lot, and we're just going to keep an eye on them. Elsewise, we're just trying to keep the economy running, which we're going to have to deal with here momentarily. And, yeah. Keep things going until we can get this refinery built, or we can get this coal mine finished and increase our coal production so that we can actually start exporting this coal. We also need a more consistent flow of workers into this area, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we are working on all of that. Right now, getting the rail built is the thing that is kind of keeping us kind of limited in what we can do right now. So, let's go ahead and take a look at what we can do. Yeah, our exports are not counterbalancing our imports yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. We really need to get oil products being exported. That's kind of what we really need. So we got to work on that. And if we can start making some of the stuff ourselves, like making clothes, making chemicals, making electronics, that kind of stuff. So we'll have to look into what we can do. So let's go ahead and take another loan. Five-year loan. I'm going to say let's make it 1,000,000 rubles. And that should hopefully keep us afloat for a little while longer. Alright, so we want to start trying to get rid of some of the stuff that... I think the reason why citizen loyalty is low is because we brought in all those immigrants. But it's okay. Do what you gotta do. We do what we gotta do. So... We are out of crops. Yep. That, distillery has become very hungry. Has become very hungry. Alright, so, what are we looking at that, we need to get off of here? Mechanical components. Clothes. Electronic components. Mechanical components. Plastics. Okay, so plastics. We're gonna need plastics. Okay. A fabric factory wants water, crops, chemicals. Okay. Clothing just wants fabric. Now, plastics. I was looking at this. Quite pricey on the market. That'd be very valuable as an export. We're also going to need a proper trash facility that is actually going to be able to handle the garbage we're going to throw at it. To also properly sort it, recycle it, that sort of thing. Electronic components, very expensive. Extremely expensive. Clothes, very pricey as well. Alright, so what we would need is probably another farm. We would need another farm specifically to provide crops for making fabric. What about chemicals? Chemicals. That's massive. Okay. That is much more reasonable. That's chemical plants. It produces 0.81 tons of chemicals per day, assuming we feed it everything it needs. What does it want? Gravel, crops, water, wood, oil. Okay. Now the question is, like, workers, that sort of stuff. I mean, I could squeeze it in there, but it needs to get fed. I think we're going to need another big population center. I think it's going to have to be, like, maybe over here. Why are we waiting? Track is clear all the way. This is just... This is the real problem. Because it wants to go that way, so it's going to cross that track, which is what's causing this to hold up. Now, speaking of criminals, did I ever get this thing built? I did. It needs fuel, but right now I'm not going to worry about that. We're having problems with, enough problems with fuel as it is. Right now, I cannot be... S-120, please. There we go. Bring those in. They'll have to get fuel at the gas station. But that's just the way it is. Do we need a small prison somewhere? Yeah, let's get a small prison in place, because we don't have one yet. Yep, everything got picked up there. That's good. Alright, we are dealing with cement. Okay. Alright. Buildings without power supply. Now, I know. Question is, should I get a train ready to start exporting coal? And just do it. What I could do is I can go over here and tell these guys when they load here to wait till they're loaded. So they'll stay there till they're loaded. That's fine. You know what? Yeah, probably a good idea. Just go ahead. So I will need an electric locomotive. Something that is cheap. Relatively cheap. This looks good. And then over here, we're going to need to buy... not a cargo wagon. We're going to need a dry bulk... no. No, it will be a cargo wagon. We just need the right kind of cargo wagon. $72 tons of coal. Actually, let's go with value. Well, let's look at the cheapest thing we've got. I'll pause it here for a minute. 29 tons of coal. 13 grand. 50 tons of coal, 70 grand, 17 grand. So the biggest coal hopper we've got is 28,000 and holds 72 tons. We have this, which is 10 grand cheaper, holds 50 tons. $56 tons. Empty weight. You know what? Let's go ahead and get two of the big ones. Alright, so what we want you to do is we need you to go here, and I want you to load grains. And bring it back. There we go. In theory, I should just have a spare locomotive around to just do this. But I don't have the luxury at the moment. We attach those guys. We're going to want this to be a bigger train at some point, but right now we do what we can do. So we get rid of that. New stop here. Load. Wait till you're loaded with coal. And then unload anything you have. What do we have up here that is causing a problem? Alright. Good. That'll isolate that off with signals. So we can keep working on this stuff while we load this thing up. It's not going to be worth much. Yeah, $2,000. But it's just something else that we can put on the line to throw out the door. Just offset a little bit more of the expenses. These coal mines take so long to build. Because right now our power plant is not consuming that much coal. So... as long as we're consistently bringing in a bunch of workers, we're good. OPEC membership? Oil export. I'm not exporting oil, I want to export fuel. Well, we are getting some production out of the waste, so that's good. Okay, so... oh, harvest has started. Very good. Very good. We need more farms. Okay. And now it's moving. Yeah, it's outstripping, the export rate is outstripping the rate at which we're making coal. Yes, that is correct. So you're working on reworking some dumps. Which is fine. You can do that. And then build that prison. So that's... Okay, so I need to start planning next expansion, because I really do want... I think it's going to have to be out here. The thing is, that if we do this expansion, we're going to have to then bring in clothing, electronics, meat, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now this oil we've fully taken care of. There's another big oil field over here that we're going to have to deal with at some point, but... What train is waiting too long? Why? Surely you can at least get somewhere, right? At least get somewhere that's out of the way. Nope. So because of that. See if I isolate that off, hopefully. That might help. In reality, that train is supposed to come around here. But can't yet. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to start making clothes and plastics. Well, we can't do plastics. We're researching it. We'll start with clothes. So, fabric factory is going to need chemicals. So first thing we're going to need is a chemical plant. We're going to want a pipeline coming off of here that's going to feed this chemical plants. I think we're going to do it over here. Now there is a road. For now, we're just going to keep this as a plan. All right, so there's that road. There's this road here. But I want that to be a level crossing. Or would I want to have that be done as a bridge? So, for example, if we just did this, Right, as a bridge. And we probably want to do the same thing like here. I don't even want that to stay a bridge. That's kind of a messy looking bridge, but you know what? It'll work. Actually, if I said, you know what, we'll take that off. Instead, we said we want to do something like that. I think that works better. And maybe even take that off. And say I want the bridge to connect like that. Okay. Now, what would be nice is if I could set this by default to be a low priority. We're gonna do it. But we're gonna set it to low priority. And I will also assign you over there. We are burning off the crops faster than we can put it in the silo. How's the rail going? So far, we're 30 grand in the hole. How close are we to pushing out? Not very. We've almost exported all of our coal. That mine is at 70%. Yeah, this thing is only running at 9% production rate, so... Okay. Well, I think we're at the end of the episode, so we'll go ahead and stop here. And for next episode, we're going to start laying out an industrial facility, an industrial area over here, to start manufacturing, like, well, clothes. That's kind of the end goal. But we're also going to be making chemicals and some other stuff. Also can produce hazardous waste. I don't think we have anywhere to store the hazardous waste just yet. Or any way of dealing with the hazardous waste. Unless we can just burn it. We could just burn it. But yeah, because if we can make our own chemicals, then we can stop buying chemicals. We can make our own fabric. We can stop buying fabric, because we are buying fabric over here. And then if we can turn the fabric into clothes, we can stop buying clothes. And maybe even export some. So that'll help. Because if we look at our last month... import of resources. And clothes wasn't that much. Steel, like, that's what's really hurting us. Steel and fuel. If we can stop importing steel and fuel, that'll be a big deal. Steel, the rail. The rail construction is what is costing us tons in steel right now. We gotta get that done. So... but if we can get at least fuel off the books at some point here. Export fuel, export bitumen. Then, yeah, that'll help. Alright. We'll work on laying that out. And we're probably going to need a new... residential facility, a residential area over here as well. We're probably going to do it in this region. And yeah, we got all the power lines, but you know what? That's just the way it is. Alright, but for now, we will stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.